Hello, I decided to do my Newberry book on Last Stop on Market Street by Matt De La Pina and illustrated by Christine Robinson. This book has won numerous awards. As you can see, there are 3 here. One of them happens to be the Newberry Award, which is right here. This one is the Calden Booth Honor book, and this one is the Coretta Scott King Award. This book teaches life lessons to children of all ages. This book happens to be about a 5-year-old named CJ and his grandma. CJ and Grandma go to church every Sunday, and then they go to a soup kitchen after church to help serve and volunteer. So it happens on this Sunday that CJ and Grandma are coming out of the church, and CJ sees all his friends getting in cars, and CJ asks Grandma why they don't have a car and have to ride the bus. And Grandma explained to CJ that the bus is much faster, and they meet people along the way that they can talk to. And then all of a sudden it starts to rain, and CJ gets upset about that. And he starts asking Grandma, why does it rain? And Grandma explains to him that it rains to water the plants and trees that are around him. And Grandma said, for an example, the tree that is behind us, the base of it is like a straw. So it takes in the water and gives the branches and leaves water. So they get on the bus finally, and as they get on the bus driver does a little magic trick for CJ like he always does, with a coin this time coming out from behind his ear, and CJ started to get happy again about riding the bus. They go along, and when they get on the bus, they sit across from a guy that has a guitar. The guy's just sitting there right now, not playing it, but later on in the book he does. So as they are on the bus, they stop at one bus stop, and a gentleman that is blind gets on the bus. And then CJ asks his grandma, Grandma, that man cannot see. How can he see things? And this time the man actually answered and explained to him that he doesn't need his eyes to see, that he can use his ears to listen and to build pictures of himself. And then later on they stop again at another bus stop, and 2 boys get on the bus that have headphones or iPads. And CJ told his grandma, I would like some of those, Grandma. And Grandma explained to him that he didn't need them once again, that you could just use your own ears and go what's going on around you to hear music. And then all of a sudden the man with the guitar started playing music. And this music CJ really enjoyed, and CJ started picturing himself on a beach and saw birds and stuff flying around. So CJ once again learned a life lesson. As they approached their bus stop that they were stopping at, this neighborhood that has a soup kitchen is not one of the greatest neighborhoods around. As CJ describes it, it's dirty, and that there's no open stores. They're all closed up. So CJ asked his grandma, why, is this neighborhood dirtier than others? And once again, Grandma said, sometimes there are dirtier areas of town, but it doesn't mean that they're bad areas. And so CJ started picturing, positive thoughts. And as they approached the soup kitchen, CJ actually saw a rainbow that formed over the soup kitchen. And then that made him happy to go into that soup kitchen, knowing that now this is a happy place, which is because Grandma reminded CJ on the bus that if they don't go to the soup kitchen every Sunday and CJ goes and plays with his friends what he wants to do, that they don't get to meet new people and talk to old friends and be able to help them volunteer. And so CJ was really happy once they got to the soup kitchen to be able to go and volunteer and talk to his friends. So like I said, this book is great for teaching life lessons to kids of all ages. And like I said, I believe CJ is probably around the age of 5. But great book. I really enjoyed it. And these are just some of the awards that this author won with this book. There's numerous. There's list and list upon list of awards. I imagine probably 15 to 20 different awards that this book has won. It was copyrighted in 2015, so it is a pretty current book. I mean, only 3 years old. The illustrations in this book, let me just show you some pictures. The author does a great job at describing exactly what the author wrote. His pictures, some of them, it's kind of funny. Some of the people don't have faces. All these people here have faces. But if you go to some of the other pictures, you can see that some of the people don't have faces, but the author has used, it looks like pencil and some of them look like paint to illustrate, and they're just excellent. It describes, like I said, what the author said to a T, how the rain coming, and then how in the first picture, how Grandma explained the tree. It does show the tree here, so it's great. I really like it. And the beach, when CJ, said that he was on the beach, felt like he was on the beach. The author does great. I mean, he just sees with CJ with his eyes closed and the birds, just like CJ describes. Great book, y'all. I hope you can read it and enjoy it.